Happy Friday, welcome to a different type of video this week. So I've done a couple videos before that weren't video game related, they were cruise related, but they didn't seem to get many views. And the first one was just my experience on cruises, on my first 3 cruises. The second video was my experience on my previous cruise, but this one I'm actually going to do a comparison video between 3 different cruise lines: Carnival, Princess, and Royal Caribbean, just in case anyone out there ever wants to try a cruise. I'm going to kind of go over what I feel are the strong points and weak points of these cruise lines, and I'm going to be voting based on, like the food, the design, all that kind of stuff. And if there are many people in this video, pictures of people that I blurred out their faces or blocked their faces, just don't want any legal issues. So the only ones I didn't block are like actual cruise employees, like servers and that, because I mean, when you're working in the cruise industry, you're kind of out there in the public anyway. But so we got Carnival Cruise Lines, Princess, and Royal Caribbean. Now I haven't really been on enough ships to make a really, I guess I should say, like a really fair judgment, because I've only been on, with Carnival I've been on the Glory twice, Princess I've been on the Caribbean Princess once, and with Royal Caribbean I've been on Adventures of the Seas. But like Carnival and Royal have something like 25 cruise ships, so I mean, some might be a lot better than others. And you got some cruise ships that are pretty small, some are pretty large. I think the 3 I went on were kind of medium, somewhere in the middle. But anyway, the first thing I'm going to be going over is the exterior of the ship. So this was the Carnival Glory when I went on it, and this is the Carnival Glory now. They added the blue at the bottom of the ship here, which I think looks a lot better. There's Caribbean Princess, kind of plain. The thing that kind of stands out about Princess is the Princess logo, which is not on this side of the ship, must be the other side, but you can see it right there on the fin. Royal Caribbean's Adventure of the Seas. This ship also, I mean, from the exterior isn't that impressive, just kind of plain. So when it comes to exterior, I'd have to go with Carnival for the winner. Okay, next we got cabins and balconies. Okay, so the first cruise I went on, I went with my friend Lindsay, and so we had an interior, this is an ocean view room, so you got a window right here, but the windows don't open because we were on deck 2. Now my second cruise I went with my friends Neil and his friend Mike, so we got a suite, we got 2 beds here and a cot. So I mean, the cabins, don't expect anything special on a cabin. When I was boarding this cruise, this is my second one in 2019. First cruise was in 2015. This one was my second cruise in 2019. And when I heard we were getting a suite, I pictured something out of Titanic. Like big rooms and multiple rooms. Like in the movie Titanic, Rose had that huge room with all those paintings in it, and then when they're running from that Lovejoy guy, they're going from room to room. But that's what I was kind of expecting when I was getting a suite. But no, they're actually, even the suites are kind of small, but smaller, I'd say a little bit smaller than a hotel room. But I was disappointed at first when I walked into the room, but then I got to thinking, how much time are you actually going to spend in the suite? You're just there to sleep. Most of the time you're going to be out on the ship. But yeah, there's a look at our little TV. And we had a balcony. We were on deck 7. The balcony was really, I felt, small. I mean, you can't even really stretch your legs here, but it went almost the length of the room, so you could seat a few people. This is our shower on the first cruise, Carnival Glory. Now on the second cruise we actually had a bathtub with jets, but I just took showers and actually sit in the tub. This is our cabin. I went with my friend Neil in 2022 on my third cruise. This was on Caribbean Princess. And the thing I didn't like about this is the beds were so close together. On this side of the bed you can't see it, but there's a wall. So this bed is actually up against the wall. You couldn't scoot it over any further. I was going to take this table out, push this bed over, so give us a little more space, but apparently I can't do that because the carpet is attached to the base of this table. So every time I'd get out of bed I'd accidentally kick my friend Neil's bed. The balcony of Princess I thought was better though. Not quite as long, but you know, you could actually really stretch your feet out. You could sit two people out here, but that's fine because there were only two of us cruising. And I had a nice TV in the Princess ship. The showers were really small on Princess. Here's the Royal Caribbean Adventure of the Seas. This is my last cruise I've been on, my fourth cruise, which was in 2023. Oh, I forgot to mention my Princess cruise was on deck 10. So here we are, Royal Caribbean, we're on deck 7. And once again, these beds were really close together. I even pushed, this was my bed right here, I even pushed it like right up against these doors. And once again, I went with my friend Neil on this cruise. The shower in Royal Caribbean was also small, but I liked that it had the sliding glass doors. It was pretty cool, kind of really helps keep the steam in. The balcony I thought was better than Carnival, but not quite as good as Princess. Okay, so here's the balcony on Royal Caribbean. Neil and I didn't like this because it's kind of enclosed. If you're sitting out here in chairs, you can't see very far to your left or right. You actually have to stand up to the railing and look over. So that was kind of annoying. So as far as cabins and balconies, I'd have to go with the tie. As far as everything, I mean, Royal Caribbean shower was a little bit better. Princess's cabin was better. Or the balcony. As far as cabins, they're all kind of the same. Princess did have a nicer TV, but I don't know, it's just kind of hard voting with, you know, looking at all the different things, you know, with the showers, the bedding, and all that. The suite we'd had a little bit more room, so Carnival won in that, but we also had a suite, so that might be why. Next, we got the interior design. So this is Carnival Glory, the Skybox Sports Bar. Now, when I first went on this cruise, on the Carnival Glory, it was the EA Sports Bar. My second time, they changed the name to the Skybox Sports Bar, so who knows, they might change the names quite often. I know they do rearrange things on cruise ships quite a bit every now and then. Maybe some upgrades. But I thought this was pretty cool, you know, all the TVs. October is a pretty good time to go to because you got baseball going on, you got football, you got basketball. Hockey would have been going on too. Although I think basketball is probably in preseason during October. Baseball is probably in the World Series. Here's what it looks like on deck 5 of Carnival Glory. There's deck 4 down here, and this is deck 3. Once again, that's the Glory. Look down at deck 3 of the Glory. This is Princess. I mean, I really didn't see anything about the interior that impressed me, so this is really the only picture I got from Princess. Royal Caribbean's Royal Promenade on deck 5 was the most impressive thing. It looked like a shopping mall. So, I mean, you got all these interior cabins where you can look out your window down on the Royal Promenade. Now, we had an exterior cabin with the balcony, but, I mean, that was kind of a cool option. You got all these stores and, like, little restaurants and cafes and all that along. Every morning when I'd wake up, I'd go down to I was on deck 7, I'd go down to the Royal Promenade, get my cup of coffee, and I'd go up to deck 11, sit out on the Lido Deck, which is also the main deck. Here's another look at it. This is in the morning time when it's not too busy. So, interior design, winter, Royal Caribbean. Okay, now the main deck, which is also known as the Lido Deck, pools and hot tubs. So, this picture really stands out in my memory because this is my second time in the Glory. Just, you know, it's such an amazing feeling, like thinking, wow, this is the same ship I was on 4 years ago. But anyway, this is what it looks like on this is deck 10, and down here you got deck 9, so that's the main swimming pool right here. And pretty much, I think almost all cruise ships, at least all the ones I've been on, all 3 of them, have a huge jumbo screen right over the main swimming pool where you can watch. They'll play movies during the day and night, and like on Sundays we'll have professional football games on, which is pretty cool. And all decks, if you're a smoker, they got pretty much all ships have a smoking section. Like this one on my first cruise, it was like right here and back here. The second cruise on Carnival was just back here, which we'll see more pictures of that. Like, okay, right here. So those of you, anyone who's a smoker, this is a pretty good spot where you got these nice cushiony love seats, and you've got an overhang right here in case it rains. I didn't really see any rain on my first cruise, which was in January. My second cruise here in October, we saw quite a bit of storms, and the ship was really rocking. So that's something you want to consider when going on a cruise. If you get seasick, you probably don't want to go during the hurricane season, which is like, I think, August up till like maybe mid-November. So if you want a smooth sail, I would suggest like December or January. Luckily I don't get seasick, so it didn't really bother me much, but everyone's different, I guess. And here's another look at deck 10. There's the smoking section there. This is pretty cool. My first cruise, I watched the NFC Championship, Green Bay Packers and the Seattle Seahawks. If you watch my Tecmo football games, you know I'm a Packer fan, so I wasn't really happy that they lost that game. And watch the AFC Championship from the hot tub. Here's my second cruise, watching the Bears and Bears and Saints playing. Okay, so here's a look from the opposite direction. So the jumbo TV would be more towards us. This is the hot tub I was sitting in when I took the picture of the AFC Championship. But it's kind of nice how they have the seating. It's kind of like a movie theater. Yeah, you got one hot tub here, you got one hot tub there. The only problem I had with these hot tubs, my second cruise, I'm trying to watch a movie, There's a bunch of kids splashing in the hot tub like it's a swimming pool or something. And these kids were unsupervised, no parents around to tell them to behave, so that was one thing that was annoying. And here's the sliding board on the Carnival Glory. They had this on the first cruise. There's another look at one of the hot tubs. So they also have hot tubs in the adult section. They got the, I think it was called the Serenity area. I can't remember if that's what it was called on Carnival or Princess, but both ships, actually every ship I've been on has an adult section where if you want to relax in a hot tub without kids splashing around, this is a good place to go. Okay, so here's Princess's cruise, or Princess's pool. Now, Princess had 4 pools, but they weren't quite as big as the one on Carnival. And there's their main jumbo screen. Yeah, every cruise I've been on watched a football game. Wait a minute. Okay, I don't think I did it on my 4th cruise. But anyway, Buffalo and Kansas City playing in the playoffs. There's another look at Princess. See, they had a smoking section. I can't remember if it was back here or if it's the opposite side. Yeah, see, they got this big wall here, and on the other side of this wall is another pool. This is deck 15 right here, and up here where I'm standing taking the picture is deck 16. There's their hot tubs right there. Now, I can't really judge the swimming pools themselves because I don't go into pools. The water's just too cold for me. The hot tubs now, I go to the hot tubs all the time, and Princess hot tubs are like really small. There's another pool at the back of the ship, a smaller one. See, here's the main swimming pool and 2 of the hot tubs. You can maybe comfortably sit 5 people in there. On Carnival, I'd say probably 7 to 8 people. This is Royal Caribbean's main pool. So yeah, they had a pretty big pool here, and then you got 2 hot tubs over here. And the smoking section is like all, this is deck 11 right here, like this whole area going. So they had a pretty big smoking section, but the problem is they had all these tables with chairs, and you know, like every table had 2 chairs. Well, sometimes you get groups of 3 or 4 that want to sit together and talk, so they're sitting there constantly dragging chairs back and forth. So if you're going up to deck 11 at like around noon, sometimes it's hard to find a chair. So that was my one only complaint, is this seating situation. But there's their jumbo screen. This is the adult pool. So this is going towards the front of the ship. So let's go back a picture. So this is facing, we're looking at towards the back of the ship. So if you're walking down deck 11 here and you keep going all the way forward, there's an entryway right here that takes you up here, and you'd be coming from this direction right here. It's a little bit smaller pool. Once again, here we are back on the opposite side. They got kiddie slides right here. I didn't get pictures of the big slides at the, is it further back of the ship or further front of the ship? I can't remember because I was only at that part of the ship like right when we boarded. We were exploring, but kind of when you settle in, you get your favorite areas that you keep going to. See, here's another hot tub. See, this is right here is one of the hot tubs that are like general. You got kids and adults, so. And my friend Neil and I only went in that hot tub one time. The rest of the cruise, we went to the adult hot tubs right here. You can comfortably sit or seat like 12 people in these hot tubs, so they're huge. I mean, we never really had a problem going to the hot tub when it was completely packed. So as far as the main deck, the pools and hot tubs, I'd have to say the winner is Royal Caribbean. Okay, food and service. Okay, so Carnival Glory, this is their buffet. And I thought they had a pretty good selection of food at the buffet. Sometimes I got salads. Sometimes I get like chicken or beef or steak or something. And then there's the slice of pizza. This is my second trip on Glory, and which is Carnival. And they have pizza by the slice. Pizza was pretty good. I like pepperoni, of course. Pepperoni and bacon if they had bacon on it. But they just kind of had the basics. Guy's Burger Stand. This is probably my all-time favorite burger place in the world. Carnival's got Guy's Burgers. Just, I don't know, there's something amazing about the burgers. Now when you go up there, by the way, all the food, most of the food is included on cruises. Like the buffets, you can go to the buffet anytime, all the food is included. As far as beverages, you can get like, they got many free beverages such as lemonade. Some cruises water is free. There's other cruises where you buy bottled water, so I mean it's kind of hard for me to really give an accurate opinion on that. But I mean, what I did on my last cruise, I went and bought a bottle of water, and I kept filling it up from my sink in my cabin, bathroom sink. So I mean, that's an option if you don't mind drinking tap water. I mean, personally, I don't really notice the difference between bottled water and tap water. It all tastes the same to me, so I'll drink either or. But Carnival, they got lemonade, and they got the most amazing lemonade too in the world. It's just really thick and sweet. But Guy's Burgers, you go up to the stand, you tell them whether you want a hamburger or a cheeseburger. They'll put it on the bun for you. They'll leave the top bun off. You take it over to the, they got like a, it's kind of like a salad bar except for its toppings. You can put your own, you put all your own toppings on it, like bacon, onion, ketchup, mustard, barbecue sauce, you know, whatever you like on your burger. Pickles, if you like that kind of stuff. I don't. But pretty cool. And then I think the servers ask you if you want fries too. I can't remember. Or maybe they just put them on the plate for you. But the fries are pretty good too. And then they also have restaurants. That's my friend Neil. He doesn't really have a yellow face like that. But wasn't sure if he was okay with being put on YouTube, so just thought I'd cover it up. But anyway, they have the Golden Restaurant on the Carnival Glory and the Platinum Restaurant. So now on my first cruise, my friend Lindsay and I were eating at the buffet every night, and finally it was like towards the end of our cruise, we were talking to this guy. We kind of became friends with him on the cruise, and asking us if we ate at the restaurant yet, and we told him no. And he's like, well, you might as well check it out, you know, it's included with the price. So Lindsay and I only went to the restaurant one time. I didn't take pictures in there. But when I went on my second cruise, Neil, Mike, and I ate there a couple times, a few times, not sure how many times, but it's kind of cool. They got a menu. It's actually like a fancy restaurant. You sit down and you got a menu and choose what you want, and they actually serve it to you just like a restaurant. So a little different from the buffet. It's kind of nice to change it up. But yeah, I'd have to say the selection of food on Carnival is pretty good, and the service was decent. Okay, Caribbean Princess, or no, wait, no, this is Carnival Glory. Salmon at the restaurant. One thing I hate every time I order salmon, no matter where it's at, whether it's on a cruise or at a restaurant, they give you stuff you don't want. I mean, just not last Saturday, but the Saturday before that, I went to a fancy restaurant with this girl and ordered salmon, and it looked like they dumped an entire salad on top of my salmon. It's like, no, I just want the salmon. I don't want these peas, I don't want these yellow things. But anyway, the salmon was pretty good. And here we are at the Platinum restaurant. That's Neil's friend Mike. He doesn't really have a green face. But anyway, the thing I like about the two restaurants on Carnival is they have a different feel. The Golden restaurant has a dinner feel. The Platinum restaurant has that breakfast feel. So, I mean, they're very different. I thought that was really cool. Here's Princess, slice of pizza. Now, as far as who had the better pizza, you know, I'm not really good at judging pizza. To me, pizza is pizza. I've eaten so many different types of pizza, but I mean, it's kind of hard to say whose is better than the others. I mean, I like them both the same. Okay, one thing I didn't like about the buffet on Princess is it seemed like the selection wasn't that good. But got to keep in mind that this was in 2022, so it was still kind of during the height of COVID, where, you know, a lot of businesses were struggling, and, you know, they might have had a hard time getting food. But yeah, this bread right here was rock hard, not good at all. And it seemed like every time I ate at the buffet, it seemed like I was always getting pretty much the same foods. This is kind of my daily breakfast. You know, you got these garlic potatoes, bacon, like a chunk of ham. I don't know what that stuff is. Looks like snot. But no, they don't serve boogers or snot on cruise ships. But this is the only change. I usually got something different to drink every morning for breakfast. I have to have my coffee every morning, but sometimes the buffet would also get like an orange juice or prune juice, maybe lemonade. And the restaurants on board. So we had the Coral restaurant on board the Princess. And once again, I got salmon with a bunch of other stuff I didn't ask for. And this is the Crown Grill. Now, the two restaurants, the Crown Grill and I forgot the name of the other one already. Coral. So the Coral restaurant and the Crown Grill restaurant, they looked very much the same to me. So I really didn't like that. I mean, if you're going to two different restaurants, it feels like you're in the same one because they're both so similar. But okay, before I move on, let's go back to beverages. So yeah, I guess I feel like I didn't really finish covering beverages. You can get pop if you want. You can either pay the beverage package, which I'm not sure how much it is. I think on my first cruise, the beverage package was $9 a day. So the question is, do you drink $9 worth of pop a day? And then there's the alcohol package, which was $50 a day on my first cruise. So, I mean, if you drink $50 worth of booze a day, then you might want to get it. But if you're the type that only drinks maybe 1 or 2 beers, then you might just want to pay them individually. And they'll put it on a tab. So, yeah, you get your cards. Like on Carnival and Royal, you got a cards, like where you use it for your key card, and you also use it to buy anything on the ship. And at the end of the ship, you get a bill. You pay it with your debit card or credit card. But yeah, so that's something to think about when getting beverages. How much do you drink? Is it worth it or not? And from what I understand, if you're cruising with a friend and one of you in that cabin gets the drink package, I think you both have to get it. But I'm not 100% sure on that. That is what I've recently been hearing. Okay, now talk about service. Okay, now all the cruise lines have an app where you can sign into, and you can look up the entertainment going on the ship. This was a pretty cool thing. I thought it was a location, so you know, if I'm looking for my friend Neil on board the ship, this shows exactly where he's at. Now, some people might think this is creepy because someone might stalk you on the ship, but no, you actually have to approve whether people can locate you or not. So, I mean, if you're with friends and you want to be able to locate each other, then you can put that option on your phone, but you don't have to worry about some creepy guy down the hall, like, going to try to finding you on the ship. But anyway, also another thing you could do with the service is order food. So you got this medallion right here on Princess. This is one thing I liked about Caribbean Princess, or Princess in general, Princess Cruise Lines. Instead of the card, the swipe card, you get this medallion. You wear it on a lanyard around your neck. Now it's got your name up here. I went and blurred my name out because, you know, I don't want people like messaging me on Facebook and all that. But anyway, it's kind of cool that when you get near your room with this thing, your door automatically unlocks. And also, when using the app to order food, you could just order something. Like, let's say you go to the restaurant, you want, okay, like, for example, a dirty banana drink. I did have the drink package on Princess, you know, that something they offered for free because, you know, with COVID going on, there weren't many people cruising, so they kind of gave you free upgrades. But, you know, I'm sitting there in my chair, I order a dirty banana, and about within maybe 5 minutes, a server will come to your location, serve it right to you anywhere on the ship. They locate you by your travel medallion, and they also have a little keypad there that's got your picture on it, so they kind of look at your picture and identify you. So I thought that was pretty cool. The server here was Joy. I used to order quite a few dirty bananas, and she'd bring them over. And there's another server, I don't remember his name. There's my friend Neil again with the yellow face. And this is the smoking section right here. This is the only kind of good picture I got of it. But, you know, this is Princess. So you can see my friend Neil's wearing his lanyard around, or his medallion on his lanyard around his neck. And I think he actually ordered fries here or something. Pizza. This is Royal Caribbean. Once again, the pizza, you know, pretty good. I liked it on all 3 cruises. I forgot to mention on my Princess cruise, I mean, since the pizza's free, I decided to try pineapple pizza because there's always that debate, does pineapple belong on pizza or not? For my honest opinion, that was my first time trying pineapple on pizza. I mean, it wasn't terrible, but I don't think I'd order it on pizza if I'm paying for it. If it's free, yeah, I'll go ahead and eat it, but I mean, if I had the option with or without pineapple, probably without. But yeah, like, got my pepperoni pizza here. And that's always really convenient, like in the middle of the day, it might be between meals, you're kind of hungry. You just go down and get 1 slice of pizza or 2 slices. You can either eat them right there at they got like little tables around where you can eat them, or you could take them back to your room. You could take it to the Lido Deck and eat it out there. The buffet on Royal Caribbean wasn't too bad. I'd give it about the same judgment as Carnival. It was pretty decent, good, nice selection of food. The only thing I didn't like is the drinks. You know, like Princess had orange juice, which was pretty good and free. But then again, I had the drink package in Princess, so I can't be 100% sure if the orange juice would have been free if I didn't have the drink package. But the lemonade on Carnival was great. These drinks, it was some type of fruit drink that I don't know, kiwi or something, but yeah, it wasn't the best. It didn't have much flavor. There's my bottle of water I carried around with me all the time. Okay, and there's the Sapphire dining room on on Royal Caribbean. Really nice restaurant, and I wish I would have got a picture of the royal stair or the grand staircase. It kind of looks like something out of Titanic. But I'd have to say the restaurant was really nice. Now the thing in Royal Caribbean is they also have a lot of specialty restaurants, but you have to pay extra money for those. But you don't necessarily have to go to these specialty restaurants. You can go to the Sapphire Dining Room and eat for free. You can go to the Windjammer Cafe, which was the buffet, and eat for free. But it is kind of cool that they got these options of these other restaurants. So I mean, if you do have the extra money to spend, you do want to try something, you can. I kind of wish I would have tried more restaurants. But anyways, this is the breakfast burrito on board Royal Caribbean. Just amazing. I usually eat the frozen. Well, I used to eat the frozen breakfast burritos. You know, I'd take them to work for lunch break, and they just weren't very good. So I was really surprised when I tried a real one that was made in a restaurant on Royal Caribbean. It was just amazing. A lot of bacon inside of it. I love my bacon. Okay, so here's the specialty restaurant, one of them on Royal Caribbean. They got Johnny Rockets hamburger place. This is the only specialty restaurant I ate at. I'm not sure exactly what the term specialty restaurant is used for, but this is the one restaurant that costs extra money that I ate at. Kind of had that 50s, 60s feel, or maybe 70s. I don't know, I wasn't born until 76, but I mean, watching movies like Back to the Future when he was in 55, or watching Cobra Kai back when they're showing John Kreese in his Vietnam days. They had a restaurant similar to this. It's got those jukeboxes. Yeah, I ate a burger here. The burger was great. I forgot to mention I did eat a burger on Caribbean Princess, and it was just a burger to me. I mean, it wasn't that great. It was nothing like Guy's Burgers. This burger on Royal Caribbean was much better than the Princess one. But I still think I like Guy's Burgers just a little bit better than Johnny Rockets. But Johnny Rockets has a menu. I mean, this is like a restaurant where you sit down, you got a menu. And I was the only person in Johnny Rockets when I went. And so yeah, it's not like I had to wait real long. Oh, one thing I want to go back to is getting into the restaurant. So I didn't really have any problems getting into restaurants on Carnival or Princess, but getting into the Sapphire restaurant was always waiting in line, and that was one thing that was kind of annoying. It seemed like on Adventure of the Seas, every time we'd go there, we'd be waiting in line. And now they have like 6 o'clock dining, 7 o'clock dining, or my time dining. But my time dining is like late. It's like got to be after 6, so I mean that doesn't really feel like my time as far as Royal Caribbean. Now on Carnival and Princess, I think you can go, if you got my time dining, I think you can go pretty much any time the main restaurant's open. But then I should also add that there are formal nights. Now, I don't recall any formal nights on Carnival, but on Princess and Royal Caribbean, they have certain nights that are formal nights. So if you go to the main restaurant on formal nights, you're expected to dress up. You only need to wear like a button-up shirt, some nice pants. But when I went out, when I'm going out for formal night, I go all out, wear a suit and tie and everything. Just because I don't like doing anything halfway, I like going all the way. But anyway, you don't necessarily have to go to formal night though. I mean, if you don't want to dress up, you could just eat at the buffet that night or go to a different restaurant. So, as far as restaurants, as far as food, the winner is Carnival, best burgers. As far as nicest looking restaurant, I picked Royal Caribbean Sapphire. I guess when judging these, I should have taken the weight. You know, waiting in line, I should take that in account. As far as service, Princess. I thought that was really cool how they actually brought food to you. Okay, next we're going to go jump into entertainment. So this is the theater on Carnival, Amber Palace Theater. This is the theater on Caribbean Princess. I can't remember what the name of the theater was called. This is the theater on Royal Caribbean's Adventure of the Seas. So as far as theaters, they all have their theater. And I mean, I really didn't go to the theater on Carnival or Royal Caribbean. I did go to a comedy club on Princess, and I just did not think the comedian was that funny. It was like a 45-minute, stand-up comedy, and I laughed at maybe like 2 of his jokes. And I'm trying to think what one of them was. It was something like making fun out of people who wear a mask while driving alone in the car. He said it's kind of like wearing a condom in bed while you're sleeping alone. I thought that was kind of funny. It sounded funnier the way he said it, though. I might not have said it correctly, like accurate. Okay, now another thing they got is miniature golf course. This is my friend Lindsay playing miniature golf. This is in the Carnival Glory. So yeah, on the top of the deck they got a little miniature golf course. It's kind of cool. Carnival also has, well, the Carnival Glory anyways, also has this giant chessboard, but I mean, I like to play chess, but I'm not really sure if Lindsay or Neil or Mike, if they play chess or not. Casino. Every ship I've been on has a pretty nice sized casino on board. This is Carnival's. I don't go to the casinos too much. And I don't know why. I mean, a couple years ago, well, I had this friend Coco I always used to hang out with. She liked the casino, so her and I went, I'd say between 5 to 10 times to the local casino here in Iowa, and had some fun. I mean, I'm pretty smart when it comes to gambling. I'll walk into if I do walk into a casino, I know how much I'm going to spend. I got a limit. I'm not going to like go crazy and end up breaking my bank or anything like that. So, like for example, one time I remember going into a casino with Coco. I put $20 in video poker. I got up to $40, dropped back down to $20. So it's like, okay, I'm at this point, I'm losing. First I was winning, I was having fun, but now I'm losing, I'm not having fun anymore. So I cashed my $20 out. I gave it to my friend Coco. She went to put it in a machine that she likes playing, and she got up to $165. And she started losing, she got down to $150 and cashed out. So yeah, we came out ahead on that one. But yeah, maybe next time I'm on a cruise I might check out a casino. Entertainment director Dr. E on Carnival. And so Carnival's kind of got a spring break feel to it. It's kind of a lot of party music and all that kind of stuff at the back of the ship. They also have kind of like arcade games on Carnival, but they were kind of weird arcade games. They're like mechanical, not video arcades. So I never really played any of these. I just took pictures as I was walking by. And I don't even remember these on my first cruise on Carnival Glory. I ran into these on my second cruise, so they might have added them sometime after. Who knows, they might have replaced them since then. Okay, so here's the golf course on Caribbean Princess. It's just a putting green. And I don't recall seeing anybody up there the whole time. So yeah, their golf course doesn't nearly compare to Carnival's. Princess also had a basketball court. Carnival also had this. I didn't get a picture of it, but Carnival's also got a basketball court, tennis court. Princess had the same thing. This is their casino. It's kind of blurry because I was walking getting a picture. And this is their idea of a party. So we said Dr. E on Carnival. Yeah, you got a few old people sitting here listening to easy listening music. There's a band over there playing. So, yeah, Princess really isn't known for its parties. Here's Royal Caribbean's miniature golf course. I should have got more pictures because their golf course was even more impressive than Carnival's. They had one that goes from deck, I think it's deck 12 down to deck 11, or maybe it's deck 11 down to deck 10. So, yeah, the golf course actually has where you hit it in a hole and it goes into this spiral thing and spins all the way down to the lower deck. You have to walk down the steps to continue playing, which was kind of cool. They got a rock climbing wall on Royal Caribbean. This is the Flow Rider, also on Royal Caribbean, where you can surf or boogie board or whatever you want to do. I wanted to try this, never got around to doing it. Ping pong table on Royal Caribbean. Neil and I played some ping pong. They have an actual arcade room that's got arcade games. This is Galaga. You know, actually video arcades. They've got air hockey tables. This is all Royal Caribbean right here. I love air hockey. Here's Royal's Casino. Oh, this is the icing on the cake. Royal Caribbean Studio B Center Ice. Yeah, they have an ice skating rink on board the cruise ship on deck 3. I mean, it's not like hockey regulation size, but still kind of fun. I think I would have had more fun. My only problem when I went on the ice, I was wearing short sleeves, so I didn't want to risk falling on the ice in short sleeves because it'd be kind of cold, so I skated really slow. I did have a sweatshirt on board and a hockey jersey I should have worn down there, and could have really got moving faster on the ice. So entertainment winner is definitely Royal Caribbean. They have a lot of stuff to do, and there's probably a lot of things I'm missing too. Laundry. Okay, this is kind of a short category here. Carnival's got a laundry room. You pay, I think it's $3 in quarters to use the wash machine, another $3 to use the dryer. Princess has the same thing. The only thing that I liked more about the Princess cruise is I had free Wi-Fi. You know, once again, it was another free upgrade I got due to the COVID restrictions, the low crew. I mean, the amount of crew members on board was only a third capacity. That wasn't Princess choice. It was just not many people cruising. A lot of people were afraid to cruise during COVID. So anyway, I had the free Wi-Fi, so it was much easier to wait for my laundry to dry while you're kind of punching around on Facebook. Okay, now Royal Caribbean didn't have a laundromat, which was weird. Instead, you put your laundry in a bag and leave it out for your room steward to pick up. And they charge you like $3 per pair of socks. I think it's like $5 per shirt. I mean, I might be wrong on the prices. I can't remember how much it is. Kind of hard to read. But yeah, it's kind of more expensive, and then you get it back the next day. So laundry, the winner is a tie between Carnival and Princess. Age groups. Okay, Carnival was much younger. As I mentioned, it's kind of a spring break feel, so you got a lot of younger people around kind of partying, having fun. So if you're the party type, you like to headbang and listen to crazy music and, you know, like heavy metal, or I guess they got a kind of a wide variety of music. But, you know, it's like the party's always there on Carnival. Not to say that you're stuck in a party. I mean, you can go places on the ship to relax anytime, but, you know, if you want to find a party, it's easy to do so on Carnival. Princess was complete opposite. It was like, I felt like I was in a nursing home. This guy right here, I took a picture of him because I thought he looked like Rod Stewart from the back. Yeah, I mean, really wasn't much excitement on Princess. Not to say that I didn't enjoy my cruise. I mean, You know, a cruise is always a good time, at least for me so far. But not so much. Royal Caribbean is more like a wider variety. People kind of say it's like a family more cruise ship, and it's kind of true. I mean, yeah, you're going to see old people on board, but they also got their kids and their grandkids with them. You're going to see middle-aged people aboard, but they're going to have their parents and their kids with them. You might see little kids running around, but they got their parents and their grandparents with them, so it's kind of like an all-age group type thing. So yeah, it was, I'd say, a pretty even, good mix. And I mean, there were not quite as party as Carnival, but there were parties, you know. You can party if you want. I hear there's nightclubs too on these ships, but I have not been to a nightclub yet. I don't know why. I guess it just didn't cross my mind. But yeah, as you can see, you got some old people up here. You got some young people down here. You got a kid right there. Another kind of middle-aged. So yeah, pretty good variety. Age group winner, Royal Caribbean, pretty even mix. Okay, last category is going to be on stops. Now, this is kind of hard to judge a cruise line based on their stops, with the exception of one, and I'll get to that. So on my first cruise, Carnival Glory, went to Cozumel, Mexico. But I mean, see, now you can go to Cozumel, Mexico with any cruise. I mean, I think Princess and Royal Caribbean both stop there. So as far as my favorite stops, Cozumel, Mexico, I really wasn't that big of a fan of. The vendors there are so annoying. They're just begging customers, come and check out my shop. I got the most special deal just for you. It's like, I mean, I think that's bad strategy of marketing if you have to beg people to come in your shop. And when you do go in a shop, it's the same that you've seen at every shop. So yeah, I've been to Cozumel, Mexico on my first cruise and my second cruise. Really didn't care for it that much. I mean, it's okay enough to get off, take pictures, but just be warned that people are going to annoy you. Belize was okay. I mean, nothing real special about it. They didn't bug you, but there really wasn't much anything impressive about it. Just kind of walked around, got a few pictures and left. Mahogany Bay. This is another stop on Carnival. So yeah, my first cruise I went on, we stopped at Cozumel, Mexico, Belize, Mahogany Bay, and Costa Maya. So Mahogany Bay wasn't too bad. Roatan. What I found kind of cool about this, unique, is that you got a security guard walking around wearing camouflage and carrying like a machine gun, which is kind of like crazy because, you know, me living in North America, when you see security guards at, like, you know, your local carnival or fair, they might carry a handgun or something with them, but to actually be dressed like a soldier with a machine gun is like, wow, really? I mean, it's different. Costa Maya, Mexico, another place where the vendors were really annoying. I made the mistake of wearing a Batman t-shirt, and all these guys are sitting there waving me over. You know, they got Batman earrings, Batman necklaces, Batman sunglasses. You know, it's like, hey, I'm not really a big Batman fan, I just bought the shirt. Okay, my second cruise, we went to Jamaica, Grand Cayman, and once again Cozumel. So Jamaica, I hear a lot of people like Jamaica, but my friends and I had not a very good experience there. We went to the local gift area, we wandered away from it, and there are like 12 Jamaican guards. Well, they looked like guards. I guess they weren't really guards, they were actually like drivers, like shuttle drivers. And we got these guys coming up to us, hey, I can give you a ride, you know, and There's just something about them I thought was shady, and they offered to give us a ride somewhere. First they wanted $10 for a ride, and I'm like, no, I don't want to do this. And then they said, oh, I'll give you a free ride. And I mean, that makes it even seem like it's more shady. Okay, now you want to give me a free ride? He says that he gets $2 per person that he brings back to a bar. I told him no. I went back to the cruise ship. My friends Neil and Mike decided to go, and they kind of got ripped off. The driver dropped them off and never came back to never returned to pick them up, so they had to walk an hour back to the cruise ship. So I mean, I just instincts, but I didn't trust those guys. So I mean, I think if you would have gone on a ship-sponsored excursion, you would have been safe. So I don't want to give Jamaica a bad name. Just, you know, don't wander off when you're going to these foreign countries. Don't wander off too far away from your cruise group where there's more locals than people in your group, because some of the locals might try to take advantage of you. You can get robbed or raped or anything bad. So here's Grand Cayman. We stopped there, and I really liked Grand Cayman. It was a nice place. We stopped at a bar, got some onion rings, just kind of hung out there. You know, the people were pretty friendly. On my Princess cruise, we stopped in St. Thomas. Wasn't too bad. We just kind of hung out on the beach. This beach right down here. So first we stopped up here to get pictures. You know, the shuttle bus stops. Everyone can get off and get pictures, and you know, it stops for like 5 minutes, and I literally mean 5 minutes. You get off, you get a few pictures, and it's like, okay, we're leaving. You get back on, and they drive you down to this beach. Kind of hang out there for a couple hours, so not too bad. St. Kitts was kind of nice too. Same thing, we paid for an excursion to do this. So all these stops you go to, you could either pay to do an excursion, so you could book it through the app, or you can go to the excursion desk on board. And if it's a ship-sponsored excursion, you're pretty safe. It's going to cost more though than a regular excursion, like a non-ship sponsored excursion. So I mean, for example, like what we did in Jamaica, that was not a sponsored excursion. We just paid some locals. Well, my friends paid some locals to give them a ride, and you know, they kind of got dropped off out there. Now if you're going to do something ship sponsored, you're probably going to pay more money, but it's safe. You don't have to worry about shady people messing with you. Now let's say your shuttle bus breaks down and you paid for the excursion on the ship. It's a ship sponsored excursion. The ship will wait for you. Now if you go on your own and try to save money, and let's say the shuttle bus breaks down, you're stranded there, you don't get back to your ship on time, well, you're out of luck. You're going to have to find your way to an airport and get a flight back home. But you don't have to do excursions either. You can get off the ship, you can wander around, you know, just kind of roam, take some pictures, check out the gift shops. You don't even have to get off if you don't want. You can stay on board the ship. Usually when they stop these places, it might be like 8 to 10 hours where they're stopped there, so there's plenty of time to do stuff. So those are my two stops on Princess, St. Thomas and St. Kitts. We're also supposed to stop in Jamaica, but due to the windy weather, we couldn't on that cruise. So Royal Caribbean, we stopped at St. Croix, and this is Fort Frederick. I thought that was pretty cool. Kind of toured the fort there. Then we went to a bar. It was really hot. Yeah, we were pretty excited when we went to the bar, and it was air conditioned. Got a beer and kind of just relaxed for an hour. Okay, so anyways, St. Thomas, St. Kitts, and St. Croix are part of the U.S. Virgin Islands. Now, this stop was Tortola, which is one of the British Virgin Islands. And if you're a smoker, I am not sure if you could smoke there, because I didn't see any people smoking on the streets. Maybe in Britain they might have certain laws, so you know, you might not want to risk it unless you see a group of other people doing it. Coco Cay's Bahamas. Okay, so here's one. Now there are many islands of the Bahamas, and some of them are owned. Like, for example, Coco Cay's Bahamas is owned by Royal Caribbean. And I know there's Princess Cruise Lines owns Princess Keys Bahamas. And Carnival owns, I think it's called Moonlight Cay's Bahamas. Or it's Moon something. But anyway, all these ships have their own private islands in the Bahamas. And Coco Cay's was really fun. You know, there was, I think, yes. So yeah, winner is Royal Caribbean. Anyway, there were more pictures I wanted to throw in this show, but I mean, it's kind of like an amusement park. You've got, like, you go to these different food courts, and by the way, the package on the cruise ship is the same as the private island, so you get the free food down here too. If you got the drink package also works on the island. So, I mean, it's kind of cool that they're tied together like that. But yeah, you just go walking around. They got, like, water parks. They got adventure pool, snack shack, wave pool. They got this bridge around this huge, I mean, they got this harbor beach. So it's kind of cool. You got the ocean, you got people swimming in, and then you got actual swimming pools. I should have added more pictures, but yeah, they got all these tents that you could eat at. So, I mean, I'd have to say Royal Caribbean wins that one. But then again, I guess I've never really been to Princess's private island in the Bahamas. We were supposed to, but we couldn't stop there. I've never been to Carnival's. But so it's kind of hard to say, but overall, if I had to choose between Carnival, Princess, and Royal Caribbean again, I'd say the winner. I mean, most people probably already know just by how I voted on everything, but winner is Royal Caribbean. So, I mean, I would like to stick with both Carnival and Royal for future cruises. I'd like to try some other Carnival ships, see. Cause, I mean, I've only been on one Carnival ship, the Glory, twice. I've only been on one Royal Caribbean ship, Adventure of the Seas. Princess, now from what I hear, Princess Cruise Lines is all pretty much old people, so I probably won't be going back on Princess, I mean, until I'm like maybe 80 or 90 years old. But I mean, in the meantime, I think my next cruise is going to be on Royal Caribbean. And now, another thing I want to point out is, okay, some of the bigger ships, they got Wonder of the Seas was Royal Caribbean's biggest ship. Their new biggest ship is Icon of the Seas. And in 2025, they're going to be releasing even a bigger one called Star of the Seas. But Icon of the Seas right now is the biggest cruise ship in the world. And there is a lot of debate on whether, you know, what size cruise ship you want to go on. And my friend Neil recently pointed out that he wouldn't want to go on Icon of the Seas because it'd probably be too crowded. You got like 7,000 people on board. But from what I've recently been hearing in cruise groups, that they design these bigger ships with more room so they don't feel as crowded. And I've actually been seeing people with experience saying that smaller cruise ships are actually more crowded feeling than the bigger ones. So I don't know, I have to discuss it with him for our next cruise. I also got a friend, Randy, who's never been on a cruise before, and she said she'd like to go on a cruise with us. So hopefully the three of us will all have fun. I'll come to a decision on what we want to, exactly what cruise ship and cruise line we want to go with. I'm pretty sure though Neil and I are leaning towards Royal Caribbean. And my friend Randy also has a kid, and I know Royal Caribbean sometimes has deals where kids cruise for free, kids like 12 and under, so that might be an option she might want to look at too. But I don't know if that deal goes around all year long, but from what I understand on Carnival, kids had to pay the same. It's the same fee for kids as adults. But yeah, I just think Royal has more to offer as far as entertainment. You know, the food, I'd say, is mostly matched on Carnival. Although I think next time I want to try more specialty restaurants on Royal. But, you know, and then I'd also like to try some more Carnival ships too. But I think for the next one I'm probably going to lean towards Royal. My hardest problem I'm having right now going on a cruise is finding a travel agent. Because the current travel agent I go to is semi-retired and I'm having a hard time getting a hold of her, so. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed my cruise video. I know it's not what everyone looks forward to considering my channel's about video games, but hoping to get more people interested in cruising. Maybe eventually I would like to start a separate channel about cruising, but it's kind of hard to create, you know, like continual content on something like that unless I'm going on cruises a lot. But so anyway, next week we're going back to video games. Hope you enjoyed this one. See you then.